Are you wondering what in the world you should be doing the first 30 days of school? In this video, I'm going to share 10 things that you should be doing to be successful as a first-year counselor in your first 30 days. Number 1, explain your role as the school counselor. You can do this by sharing a presentation with students, staff, and families, or you can send out a newsletter or create a video, however you want to do it, but you really want to explain who you are as the school counselor and what things you plan on doing for the school as far as interventions, events, and programs. Number 2, send out a needs assessment. So when you send out a needs assessment, you are sending one to students, you can send one for staff and families. You want to get their buy-in as to what particular programs, events, and interventions they need in order to be successful. This helps you plan out your whole program, and it's super important. You can send these out on Google Forms, or you can send out a Survey Monkey. Comment below, I'm ready to have an amazing school year. Tip number 3, establish your program goals. You want to sit down and create at least 3 goals for yourself for the school year, according to academics, social emotional learning, and college and career readiness. You can even throw in like an attendance goal or something else, but to make sure that your goals that you create are aligned with your school's mission and vision and specifically aligned to data. After you create these goals, you want to sit down with your leadership team and review them to make sure that everybody is on the same page. So you can start creating events, interventions, and programs to meet the needs of your community. Whenever I create my goals, I create them in the form of SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely. Tip number 4, identify your Tier 1 SEL curriculum. So if your district already has one purchased, like Character Strong or Second Step, you want to be able to utilize that curriculum fully, or you may not have a district purchased SEL program, so you may have to create your own scope and sequence. So again, take your needs assessment and the information that you got from that and create a scope and sequence for lessons that you plan on sharing for the school year. If it's too overwhelming to do it for the whole school year, at least start with doing it for the first half of the semester, so from August to about December. Tip number 5, create your year at a glance. A year at a glance is simply a monthly calendar of the things that you want to accomplish in your program. If you want an example of a year at a glance template, look in the description below and join the Learning Lab, my Facebook group, and check the file section and you can get a free template. You can also use the National Awareness and Educational Calendar to plan out your events. I love this because it has so many different awareness events, but it can get overwhelming. So my suggestion is pick, 2 to 3 things within the month to focus on as far as these activities. Tip number 6, utilize school-wide data to create your interventions. So you want to look at attendance, discipline data, academic data such as test scores and things like that. This is how you create your classroom lessons, your small groups, and your interventions, along with the needs assessment data that you already received. Tip number 7, you want to create your weekly schedule. This includes all of the responsive services that you're going to offer, like individual sessions, classroom visits, small groups, all those things. You want to create a weekly schedule and send this out to your admin team and print one off and put it on your desk so that you have it readily available. Now, keep in mind, you may not stick to this schedule exactly, but it's a good idea to plan out your week so that you have an idea of how you're going to spend your time. And if you need tips on how to do that, I created a video that goes into explicit detail on how you create your weekly schedule. I'll drop that in the description below. Tip number 8, conduct an audit of your 504 plans. If you're the 504 coordinator for your school, you need to look at your 504 plans and start scheduling those meetings for those annual reviews. You want your school to remain in compliance and you don't want those dates to sneak up on you, so it's a good idea to start reviewing those service plans to see when you need to schedule those meetings. Tip number 9, establish your counseling referral process. It's a good idea to create a process for how you're going to receive referrals. That way you don't get overwhelmed when teachers start telling you that they need you to start seeing students for specific behaviors. You want to set up a process for how they're going to refer students to you so that you can track it, communicate, follow up, and be able to meet the needs of those students. Tip number 10, start teaching your classroom counseling lessons in individual sessions. You may or may not be able to start with small groups immediately within the first 30 days. In fact, I wouldn't suggest it, but you do need to go ahead and start doing classroom counseling lessons. Even if it's a simple meet the counselor lesson, which I would highly recommend you do within the first 30 days of school. And more than likely, you're gonna go ahead and start individual sessions because you may see that students are gonna be struggling with anxiety or being back in school. You can have some coping skills examples readily available that's gonna help you tremendously. Comment below, is there anything in this video that you would like more detail on? I can create separate videos where I go into greater detail and share examples, but I need to know what topics you would like to know more about. If you got value from these tips, please like this video. Not only does it tell me the things that you all need, but it also lets YouTube know how valuable my channel is, and I would really appreciate it. So please like this video. Relax, you're going to be fine and this is going to be an amazing school year, but if you would like more information on how to be prepared, check out this new school counselor playlist.